Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true, but the world is pretty cold. You might.
What up, YouTube? It's your boy Blue, and today I'm gonna do a recap video on the 4 trades that I ended up taking on Tesla. Now, 3 to 4 is probably, or well, 3 to 5 is probably where I want to stay at as far as the amount of trades I take. So I ended up making 146, which ain't much, but I am taking like one contract, and usually I add to it, but I haven't gotten any ads yet today. I did size down as far as taking strikes that were further out the money because coming back in this Monday, a little anxious to kind of trade, and so you want to, if you like that, you kind of want to size down so until you shake them the jitters off. So I did buy contracts further out the money, but anyways, in the first 20 minutes we had Tesla chop around in here, go back and forth, and once it popped up out that range and pulled back, I looked at it as a sign of weakness because we already had the gap down from here. So you could kind of take like a dead cat bounce or something. So as it pulled back, and on this candle, the pullback up into towards the VWAP and towards the bottom of this candle, I ended up entering one contract, and I took it off once it got down here on the flush for 100, or not 100, but $59. So on my second trade, I ended up taking. I was waiting for it to pull back up to this area again, and once it pulled back, my stop out would have been above, well, mainly above VWAP if it closed above it. But I wanted to add if it got up here, so I got in one contract on this pullback, and it started to work, and it got near where I wanted to exit at, but pulled back up. So I ended up exiting in this candle because I didn't want to let my profits just go away. So I ended up taking that one off for like $25. So on the third trade, once it broke through this area, I waited for another pullback, but it was a small pullback, which was this right here, and I ended up taking one contract as it started pulling back down for the continuation down, and I ended up taking it off at the bottom here and ended up making another $49. So then I just waited a little bit, and I wanted to enter twice or go a little bit bigger this time, but add to it. So as it came through here, continued to come down, I was waiting for another pullback. And on this pullback of this green candle, it came back up to this line that I marked out, and I took two contracts. I wanted to add up here, but it never made it. So it ended up pulling down, and in this candle right here, it actually double bottomed, and I didn't take it off, but it was like right at where I wanted to exit. It actually printed a couple contracts in that area, but it didn't fill mine, and it popped back up. So I ended up taking it off and just took it off for a $10 profit, and it just ended up kept going. But I was also looking at the SPY when I was trading it, and on the SPY it was at a gap fill. Let me find it up here. Yeah, right here. But on the SPY it was at this right here. These green lines was a gap on the weekly. So it was down in here holding this gap fill, and it popped back up. So I was like, okay, this may not go through this. So I took it off once it popped back up, and that ended up being all 4 of the trades I ended up taking today on Tesla. So I ended up making the 146. I was actually up about 150 bucks. Well, another $100. So I would have been up like 250, but I ended up taking it on that pop back up and taking it off, and letting my emotions get the best of me and get it shaken out. But anyway, those are all the trades I ended up taking on Tesla today. So if you like this kind of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification, and support a brother by hitting them thumbs up, and we'll be back at y'all later. Deuces.